Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Could there be a greater gift to the church in this current day than Pope Benedict? He just continues to amaze. In Portugal this week, he nailed it again. And there was a funny contrast of sorts as well. While Benedict was waxing eloquent about the Portuguese people rediscovering their spiritual heritage and loving Christ more deeply and changing the world and saving souls, the socialist prime minister of Portugal was standing there giving a speech about how the church has been very helpful with social welfare programs. Now, it would be funny if it wasn't so indicative of a deeper crisis. And it is specifically the crisis of faith that Benedict is addressing. While the Portuguese prime minister is standing there babbling on about welfare programs, listen to what the Holy Father was saying. Quote, "Often we are anxiously preoccupied with social, cultural, and political consequences of the faith, taking for granted that faith is present, which unfortunately is less and less realistic. Perhaps we have placed an excessive trust in ecclesial structures and programs, in the distribution of power and functions. But what will happen if salt loses its flavor?" End quote. The Prime Minister with his eyes fixed on earth, the Pope with his eyes fixed on eternity. This, in a microcosm, is the problem in the church today. Too much attention is riveted on man and not enough on God. There are elements within the church who seek to turn the church into a social help organization, and those outside the church who are delighted to see the church reduced to such a role. But a charitable organization is not the primary role of the church. The primary role of the church is to lead souls to heaven. It is precisely because of this primary role that so many want to see the church back away from the role. Reminding modern man that his highest calling is heaven, not soup kitchens, means modern man must change his moral choices, and modern man does not want to hear that. Governments, which are made up of men, modern men, want the church to focus on earthly things so light will not be shed on their own dastardly plans of worldwide abortion and euthanasia and the junk science of global warming, so they can push population control. Governments and those who back them want the church to be some sort of religious-minded Florence Nightingale who never mentions a word about evil or sin or God or the heavenly kingdom, because that exposes them for the charlatans that they are, promoters of an earthly kingdom where they reign supreme. But the Pope stands there in the southernmost corner of Europe, calling on all Catholics and reminding them of their supreme calling to build up the heavenly kingdom among men on earth. Repeating the words of our blessed Lord, the Holy Father pointed to the reality of the church. But what happens if the salt loses its flavor? The answer our Lord gave to his rhetorical question was, "It is good for nothing except to be cast aside and trampled underfoot." And near the end of the speech, the Pope pointed to the final reality, the final truth of this life. He said, "The resurrection of Christ assures us that no adverse power will ever be able to destroy the church." Like I said, Benedict just continues to amaze. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.